60 mile an hour on a bumpy back road. Well, we've got a brand new 2025 KLR650s in the shop today. We actually ended up trading in the Indian Chief for this thing. It had 1 mile on it when we got it the other day. Been 2 days now, and we're almost up to 200 miles. So definitely been putting some time into just getting the overall feel of the bike and seeing how much I do or don't like certain things about it. One of the things I was a little concerned with was the bar width. These are some very wide bars. So I was a little bit skeptical about that, but after cruising down the highway, you can just kind of like put your hands on the bars, rest your arms a little bit on them, and it's actually a pretty comfortable position being a little bit wider like that. But suspension feels freaking amazing on it. Cruising down the highway, it feels like you're on a cruiser bike, like a Cadillac, just floating along. It's nice. And then crosswinds and stuff like that, big wind gusts from semis passing by doesn't really affect it too much, surprisingly, despite being, you know, a taller bike with a lot of billboard wind catching potential. Don't really get pushed around too much from the wind, so that's a great thing for, you know, going down the interstate and stuff like that. The rear shock on this thing does have adjustable dampening and I believe height as well. So that's a really good feature to have, you know, from the factory for sure. I am like 150 pounds soaking wet, so I need to soften it up maybe a click or two. It honestly doesn't feel bad the way that it is, but I mean, if you're like 200, 250 pound rider, it would probably be set up perfect for you just from the factory as it is. So this model is not an ABS model. Didn't want the ABS because it just makes more mechanical points, electrical points of failure, and don't want to have to deal with that. So there are some spots here. I believe this is for like a USB plug-in thing. This one here, I think some models came with fog lights, so that would be a fog light switch. And then there's like a cigarette lighter 12-volt outlet right there. All of that stuff can be added in. Also came factory with these hand guards and this windscreen. Whenever we got it, it was on the lower position. Just get those 2 bolt holes right there. It was lowered down just a little bit. I'm about 5'10", so when it was lowered down, I was getting like a lot of wind over the windscreen, and my head height, it was like blowing it right into my helmet. I like to keep the visor flipped up on my helmet when I'm going lower speeds. And if I was riding in the rain with it on that lower setting, I'd definitely be getting rain in my face and line of sight and things of that sort. So decided to raise that up 1 notch, get it on the higher setting, and I think it's gonna be good there. This thing feels super, super planted. Took it on some back roads that had like chip and tar on them. So, you know, really really loose top gravel on hard surface. It took that really well. Been on some gravel back roads and stuff like that, and super, super impressed with how this thing does just like overall on the gravel roads. Rode it around the yard a little bit in the grass. Felt like it had good traction there. Back brake is very, very tight and sensitive. It will lock up pretty easily. So if you do have an ABS model, I guess that would be the plus side there. So I think there's a little bit of desirability and maybe changing out the rear brake master plunger size. That would help a little bit with the amount of pressure it puts on the piston and the caliper, things of that sort. So that could be changed out fairly easily, but other than that, no complaints. I rode this thing pretty much all day yesterday, and finally towards the end of the day, my butt was hurting just a little bit. The seat is pretty comfortable, but like I said, if you're gonna ride it all day long, I recommend like one of those gel pad things. I got one ordered and on the way for it. So I'll do another video here soon after I get that installed, kind of do a updated review after that. Also, probably gonna get a luggage bag for it, and I don't know, kind of all really looking at the moment as far as any kind of upgrades or anything like that goes. So this is the S model. I believe it stands for short. So ground clearance, road clearance is 8.2 inches, somewhere around there. The oil capacity is right around 2.2 quarts US, 2.1 liters, somewhere around there. I think it's a 6-gallon tank there, getting at the moment roughly around 50 miles a gallon with a little bit of spirited riding. So that would be, an average. But anyway, other than that, no real complaints about this thing. Seating position, I was a little skeptical with the big swoop there. It kind of tucks you down into there, but it also makes you kind of hug the tank. I talk about some of this stuff more while we're in the riding portion of this video, but I don't want to blabber too long. Just wanted to go over some of my kind of opinions of the initial impressions with this thing and some things we're going to be getting for it, some of the technical specs and things of that sort. So let's go for a ride and see how she does. Said though, this thing, it feels like a freaking sport bike. You can flick it around super easy. It's got the adjustable rebound dampening on the rear shock there, so you can adjust it a little bit better for your weight and things like that, your riding style, etc. I'll probably soften it up a click for me, because I'm probably 150 pounds soaking wet. So I mean, even just what it's on from the factory, it doesn't feel bad. It'd be a little bit better for me, a little softer. Train ahead. We'll take some back streets, kill a little time. Being a single cylinder thumper and fuel injected, gotta have a little bit of decent throttle control. Coming off a throttle, because it's got a lot of engine braking, so I could see it being fairly easy to accidentally lock up the rear tire just coming off throttle. But also the back brake, the master, very touchy, easy to lock that back brake up with the whatever size master cylinder bore they got on this thing at the moment. Yeah, we'll take the long way around the train here to get some fuel. Gets a little toasty and all the gear sitting around, but it gives us an excuse to keep riding, so it's all good. This thing can take so much lean angle, it's pretty crazy, honestly. very smooth clutch and transmission. Easy to speed on this thing. It's just such a smooth ride. It doesn't feel like you're going quite as fast as you are. So I filled it up yesterday. It was right around, what was it at? Probably 60 miles when I filled it up in a nearby town. Put about 100 miles on it after that, and it's only 2 bars below full, so that's seeming like some pretty good fuel mileage at the moment. I think it's a 6-gallon tank, so that'd be what, roughly 2 gallons-ish. 50-ish miles to the gallon. It's pretty freaking sweet. And that was with a little bit of spirited riding. I never really got into it full throttle just yet. I'm trying to let it break in real good, but I mean, it's got some power to it for sure. Not a power horse, but got more than enough to do what it's made to do. I will say I do always constantly search for 6th gear, and it's not there because it doesn't have it. But it's got more than enough gearing for probably 120, somewhere around there. I'm not sure if this thing is speed limited or not, but we'll find out eventually. So I'll get to around 250 miles and kind of see what she's got after that. Give her a gentle break-in, gentle-ish break-in. You know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and put some 91 octane non-ethanol on it instead. We're already here. Traffic's a little crazy. It's July 5th, so people still out doing July 4th stuff. Come on. This is such a fun bike, man. I can't believe how comfortable this wide bar grip is, too. Like, I was really skeptical at first, but I like it. You just literally can, like, lay your hands on the bars and just rest your arms there. how much time I'm gonna have. I got somewhere to be at 4:30 and I need to leave around 3:30. Well, be cutting it close, but railroad track ramp here. I think it's so fun, man. There is a lot of chip and tar crap on this road, though. I can't really get too crazy with it here. But man, this thing is just so planted even in this really loose top gravel type of crap. You get stuck behind somebody low riding or something, probably. A ball field out in their yard. What the heck? This thing just soaks the bumps up really good. I know my head, I got you guys mounted on my head mount here, so it's gonna exaggerate some of it a little bit, my head bouncing, but I still think it could do at least a click softer just for my weight on the rear shock. Probably be better for me. I'm not sure exactly what setting they have the damn thing on from the factory. I assume it's somewhere in the middle, but the look, they actually said in the owner's manual, once I go back through all that technical data and stuff, that I can give you guys, I'll know then. Till then, it's freaking great just the way it is, honestly. Somebody else like 200, 250, probably be perfect for them. 250 or more, I'd say you want to go a little bit harder. Got some eggs for sale. Give me some room there, yeah. Good engine braking on this thing though, for sure. Could get you in trouble. Should have stopped at the Dollar General, got me a Gatorade. I got a water, but that's only quarter, half throttle-ish, somewhere around there. But like I said, it's not a powerhouse. I think it's 40 horsepower, 43 foot-pounds of torque, maybe 53. It's got more than enough power for what it's made to do. Sure, there's some simple things you can do. Take the snorkel off, take the baffle out, get a little bit more free-flowing air out of this thing, and then I'm sure the ECU could probably compensate with its stock fuel tables to enriching after getting a little bit better airflow. But I know there is some tuners out there. There's like a JD something tuner for 250, 270, somewhere around there. Then there's also DynoJet tuners for 450, 500 bucks. The JD tuner one, I think it's more like of a dip switch tuner, like for a CDI, where you just flip the switches and it sets you at different fuel levels and ignition timing settings. Kind of set it up to your liking, basically. But I would probably go with that one, have it tuned more the way that I would like for it to be tuned. Very bumpy road here, as you can see. My bobbleheading. Something, a dog or a fox. Didn't get a good look at that one. Alright, buddy was either not home or sleeping. But it is really toasty out. I had to stop and get a Gatorade, keep the electrolytes things in me. And I had to pick up some dog food too, because my baby boy is about out of his food there. Gonna hit a back road. It's got a little bit of gravel on it. Should probably turn that music down some. got some slow children in the area here, so slow her down, my guy. Another reason I wanted to go out this way is because there's a property up for sale, a little bit out in the country, but not too far. Be a really nice location. I don't know if it's got any acreage with it, but man, it would be a sweet spot if it did. Got a dyer in the road. Yeah, those downshifts definitely tries to break loose on you. Really got to rev match it good so it won't. Chip and tar crap all over the road here. Mile an hour on a bumpy back road, and this thing just soaking the bumps up. My helmet's gonna exaggerate the bumps a little bit, but that's the most I've gotten into it since we've had it, honestly. She got some get up and go. I wasn't revving, I didn't want to rev it out too high. I don't even think that was full throttle, maybe 3/4, 7/8. It's fairly close, but it's got some get up and go. It's not bad. Not that you really need it too much, but rides super smooth on the highway. As tall and like billboardy of a bike as it is, you would think you'd get pushed around a lot by the wind, crosswinds and things of that sort, but you really don't. Not anywhere near as bad as you do on a smaller bike like the KLX650s does, which you'd kind of expect from a smaller, lighter bike like that, but thing on here. other side of the road, dude. So yeah,